Om Shanti, 10th April 2020, Bab Dada's Sakar Murli. And in today's Murli, Baba has briefed we children that Kalyug is about to end and Satyug is on the way. Well, for destruction, all the preparations are already being done. You can call it as natural calamities or maybe bombs or the missile. Everything is ready to destroy the old world so that the arrival of new world can happen. Baba also asked we children to keep drama in cycle, the Srishti Chakra in cycle. He said earlier we used to consider that this body is the real actor, but Baba says now you children know who is the real actor. He also said that since you all have become Tamopradhan, this is the reason, the main reason of your unhappiness, or maybe the main reason of this world to be called as Kalyug, or the world of sorrow. He said when there is a decrease in the celestial degrees, that is when we decrease from 16 celestial degrees to 14 and finally to 0, then the garden of flowers gets converted into thorns, or you can say they lose their beauty, they stop blooming. Baba asked, there is no point to renunciate your actions or your homes like sannyasis, because Baba is teaching us, so it's important to study the subject like a student while staying in our respective homes. He said it is only Sangam Yug where you can have three fathers, Laukik, Alaukik and Parlaukik. Baba called Brahma Baba as Bhagirath today, that is the lucky chariot, through whom Shiv Baba is conveying his knowledge to this world. Baba said, you will continue to see the new world, how the new world is going to be, how much cooperation even animals will have in Satyug. He said, be prepared because there has to be river of blood in this very earth. All the bombs that scientists have created are to be used for destruction. He said, children who are not basically following Srimad or who are not busy in doing service can never be in Father's heart, in Bab Dada's heart. They cannot sit in Bab Dada's heart. Baba says, you should be constantly cheerful by keeping the study and the Father who is teaching you in your intellect. He said, while eating, drinking and doing everything, you should pay full attention to the service and study, of course. Don't cause distress for anyone, Baba says. He also blessed we children by saying that may you be an accurate server who enables souls to the experience attainment. Basically, to experience attainment. He said you should have the consciousness of doing true service, means to constantly having the consciousness of good and elevated wishes for every soul. Service is not only about creating many number of Baba's children, because Baba wants quality. Service basically means to have a sense of keeping good and elevated wishes for every soul, irrespective of their religion, their connection with you, their families, their nation, their financial status, or maybe educational status for that matter. And Baba also said that the intention of tapasya is not separate from the intention of doing true service. He said tapasya is merged with service. Very important. Combined form of renunciation, tapasya and service becomes a true and accurate server. He also said that imbibe the virtues of humility and patience so that the fire of anger will cool down soon. So now let's listen to the Murli in detail, where our beloved Bab Dada says, sweet children, the play is now coming to an end and you have to return home. When the Iron Age ends, the Golden Age repeats again. Explain these secrets to everyone. Question is, what is the main reason why souls have become tired while playing their parts? So Baba says they have been performing a great deal of devotion. They have built many temples. They have spent a lot of wealth By stumbling around, souls have become Tamopradhan from Satopradhan. Because they have become Tamopradhan, they are unhappy. When people are distressed for one reason or another, they get tired. The Father has now come to remove all your tiredness. Om Shanti. The spiritual father sits here and explains to you children. What is his name? It is Shiv. Since you children are sitting here, all of you should remember this very well. Everyone's part in this drama is now finishing, and when a play is about to end, all the actors know that their parts are finishing and that they have to go back home. The Father has also given you children understanding. No one else has this kind of understanding. The Father has now made you sensible. Children, the play is now coming to an end. Now once again, the cycle has to start from the beginning. The golden age was in the new world, now in the old world. It is the end of the iron age. Only you who have found the Father know about these things. You have to explain to new ones who come that the play is now coming to an end. And after the end of the iron age, the golden age will once again start to repeat. All souls here have to return home. The play is now coming to an end. Therefore, people believe that total annihilation takes place. That is the total destruction of this earth. But Baba says, you know now how the old world is destroyed. Earth never gets destroyed. It is the world that gets transferred, that is destroyed and becomes new one. So these thoughts cannot enter in anyone's else intellect. Baba says, the Father explains to you children that the play is now coming to an end and it then has to repeat. Previously, the world play was not in your intellects. We used to say for the sake of saying, it is that this is the world drama in which we all are actors, like Shakespeare always quotes. So previously, when we used to say this, we considered ourselves to be bodies. And the Father now says that consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. We now have to return home, that is, the sweet home, and we souls reside in that incorporeal world. No human beings have this knowledge. You are now at the confluence. You know that you now have to return home. And when the old world ends, devotion too comes to an end. It is not mentioned in the scriptures who comes first or how the religions come number-wise. The Father explains these new things to you children. No one else can explain them, and the Father only comes once to explain. The Father, the ocean of knowledge, only comes once when the new world has to be established and the old world destroyed. Together with having remembrance of the Father, you must also keep the cycle in your intellects. The play is now ending and we are to return home. We have become tired while playing our parts. We spent a lot of money. While performing devotion, we became Tamu Pradhan from Satu Pradhan. The whole world has become old. Would you call the drama old? Baba says, would you call the drama old? No, the drama never becomes old. Baba says, the drama is new each day. Maybe we have an idea that we are in the cycle of 5,000 years, but you have no clue what is going to happen the next second. Right? So in that way, Baba is saying that drama can never become old. It constantly continues. However, the world becomes old and the actors become Tamopradhan, unhappy and tired. Very logical and practical thing Baba is talking about. So you will not get tired in the golden age. There is no question there of becoming tired or distressed about anything. Here you have to see many types of distress. You know that this old world is to be destroyed. Do not remember any of your relatives, etc. Only remember the one Father, and by doing this, your sins will be destroyed. There is no other way for sins to be destroyed. The word Man Mana Bhava is mentioned in the Gita, but no one understands the meaning of it. The Father says, remember me and remember the inheritance. You were heirs of the world, that is, you were the masters, and you're now becoming those heirs of the world. Basically, we're becoming the masters again. So Baba says, therefore, you should have so much happiness. You're now changing from shells into diamonds. You have come here to claim your inheritance from the Father, and you know that when your degrees decrease, that is our 16 celestial degrees, then 14, when your degrees decrease, the garden of flowers begins to wilt. We start wilting, we start losing our charm, we stop blooming. So you're now becoming a garden of flowers. The golden age is a garden, it is so beautiful. Then gradually the degrees begin to decrease, and after a reduction of 2 degrees, the flowers in the garden wilt. And it has now become a forest of thorns. You now know this. No one else in the world knows anything about that. This knowledge you're now receiving is new knowledge for the new world. The new world is being established. And it is the Father who does this. The Father is the creator of the world. And they remember the Father and call out to Him, come and create heaven, create the land of happiness. Therefore, the land of sorrow will surely be destroyed. Baba continues to explain every day, imbibe these things and explain them to others. Right? Imbibe these things and explain them to others. First of all, explain the main thing, who our Father is, and who we have to claim the inheritance from. People on the path of devotion remember God, the Father. They pray, remove our sorrow and grant us happiness. Therefore, you children should also keep this awareness in your intellects. Students at school keep knowledge, not household matters, in their intellects. There aren't any business matters in a student life. Only their studies are remembered. Here, whilst doing everything and living at home with your family, you are told by the Father, study this. He does not say that you must leave your home and family like sannyasis. This is Raj Yoga, the household path. You can also tell the sannyasis that theirs is Hat Yoga, that is, they renounce their homes, even their actions, their responsibilities for that matter. Baba says, it is not like that here. It isn't like that here. This world is so dirty, so dirty. Look what's in it and how the poor people live. There is distaste on seeing that. All the visitors who come from abroad are shown very good places. They aren't shown how the poor have to live in those filthy places. This is hell. However, there's a great deal of difference between the places where the rich live and the places where the poor live. All of that is on the account of their karma. There cannot be such filth in the golden age. There are differences there too. Some will build palaces of gold, some of silver, some of bricks. But here there are so many lands. Even Europe is so large. There it will only be us. Just by keeping this much in your intellect, your stage will remain very cheerful. You students only keep the study of the Father and the inheritance in your intellects. It has been explained to you that very little time remains. Those people speak of hundreds of thousands of years. Here it's just a matter of 5,000 years. You children can understand that your kingdom is now being established and that the rest of the world will be destroyed. This is a study, is it not? If your intellects remember that you are students and that God is teaching you, you will also have so much happiness. Why do you forget this? Maya is very powerful. She makes you forget even this. All of you are students studying in this school. All of you know that God is teaching you. At other schools, you're taught many different kinds of subjects and knowledge, and there are many teachers, whereas here, there is only the one teacher and only the one study. However, assistant teachers are definitely needed. There is only the one school. All the rest are its branches. Only the one Father teaches us. The Father comes here and gives happiness to everyone. You know that you will remain happy for half a cycle. Therefore, you should have the happiness that Shiv Baba is teaching us and that he is creating the creation of heaven. We are studying to become the masters of heaven, and you should have so much happiness inside you. Students outside have to prepare their food to eat and drink and also do all the housework. Yes, some do stay in hostels so that they can pay more attention to their studies. Some daughters live outside in order to do service, and many types of people go there. Here, you are sitting so safely that no one can force his way in you. You do not have anyone else company here. So you don't have to talk to impure ones. You don't have to see anyone's face. Nevertheless, those who live outside are able to go faster. It is such a wonder that those who live outside teach many others and make them similar to themselves and bring them here. Baba asks, what news they have? What kind of patients have you brought? Some are such sick patients that they have to be kept in bhatti for 7 days. You must not bring any Shudra here. This Madhavan is like a village of you Brahmins. The father sits here and explains to you children. He makes you into the masters of the world. Any Shudra you bring here would spoil the vibrations. The activity and behavior of your children has to be very, very royal. As you go further, you will have many visions of what will happen there, of how even animals there will be very good. Baba says everything will be very good. Nothing of the golden age exists here, and nothing of here can exist there. It is in your intellect that you're passing the exams to go to heaven. To the extent that you study, you must accordingly become teachers and show path to others. All of you are teachers. You have to teach everyone. First of all, you have to give them the introduction of the Father and tell them about the inheritance that you receive from the Father. The Father spoke the Gita. Krishna listened to the Father speaking it and attained that status. There is Prajapita Brahma, so there must also be Brahmins here. Brahma too continues to study from Shiv Baba. You are now studying in order to go to the land of Vishnu. That is your alokik home. There is the lokik, the paralokik and the alokik. These are the new things, are they not? People on the path of devotion never remember Brahma. No one even knows how to say Brahma Baba. They remember Shiv Baba and pray that liberate us from sorrow. He is the paralokik father and this one is the alokik father. You see this one in the subtle region also. Alokik father is only seen here in this world, whereas the paralokik father is only seen in the world beyond. This is then the alokik wonderful father, and people become confused in trying to understand about this alokik father. Shiv Baba is called the incorporeal. You say that he is a point of light. People say that he is the eternal light or the Brahma element. They have many various ideas, whereas you only have one direction. The Father started giving directions through this one. Then there was so much expansion, therefore it should be in the intellects of your children that Shiv Baba is teaching you. He is making you pure from impure. In the kingdom of Ravan, you definitely had to become impure and tamopradhan. The very name is the impure world because everyone is unhappy. They remember the Father and pray, Baba, remove our sorrow and grant us happiness. There is the one Father of all the children. He would only give happiness to everyone, would he not? In the new world, there is nothing but happiness for you. Everyone else stays in the land of peace. Let it remain in your intellects that you are now going to the land of peace. As the time comes closer, you will be able to see what the world of today is and what the world of tomorrow will be. You will see everything. You will see the kingdom of heaven coming closer. Therefore, the main thing that is explained to you children is, let your intellects remember that you are sitting in a school and Shiv Baba has come and is teaching us whilst riding in this chariot. This one is the lucky chariot. The Father would also definitely only come once. No one knows what the name lucky chariot means. When you children sit here personally in front of the Father, Your intellect should remember that Baba has come. He's telling us the secrets of the world cycle. The play is now coming to an end and we have to return home. To keep this in one's intellect is so easy, but some of you are not even able to remember this. The cycle is now ending and we now have to return home. Then we will go to the new world and play our parts. Then after us, so and so will come. You know how the whole world cycle turns and how the world population grows. It changes from new to old and then from old to new, and you can also see the preparations for destruction. There will be natural calamities too. So many bombs that have been made will definitely be used. So much damage will be caused by the bombs that there will be no need for human beings to battle. Troops will be released from the army and bombs will continue to be dropped. Therefore, all of those people dismissed from their employment will starve to death. And a small trailer of that is actually happening, that all of those people dismissed from their employment will starve to death. All of that is to happen. What will the soldiers do then? There will be earthquakes, bombs will continue to be dropped, people will continue to kill one another. There has to be bloodshed without cause. Therefore, when you come and sit here, think about all these aspects and continue to remember the land of peace and the land of happiness. Ask your heart, what am I remembering? If you aren't having remembrance of the Father, your intellect must definitely be wandering elsewhere. Your sins won't be destroyed by your doing that. So your status too will be reduced. Acha, if you aren't able to remember the Father, think about the cycle. Then there will be happiness also. However, if you don't follow Srimad, if you don't do service, you aren't able to sit in Bab Dada's heart. If you aren't doing service, you would be causing distress for many others. Some may make many others similar to themselves and bring them to the Father. Therefore, Baba becomes very pleased to see them. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father Bap Dada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children, and we spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for dharana is, in order to remain constantly cheerful, keep the study and the Father who is teaching you in your intellect. While eating, drinking and doing everything, pay full attention to the study. In order to sit in Bab Dada's heart, follow Srimad and do the service of making others similar to yourself. Don't cause distress for anyone. And Baba is blessing by saying that may you be an accurate server who enables souls to experience attainment. So Baba says that to have the consciousness of doing true service means to constantly having the consciousness of good and elevated wishes for every soul. The consciousness of serving means to enable every soul to experience the fruit according to their feelings. Service means to enable souls to experience the fruit of attainment. Tapasya is merged with such service, and the intention of tapasya is not separate from the intention of doing true service. Any service, Baba says, which does not have renunciation and tapasya, is service in name only. Therefore, with the combined form of renunciation, tapasya and service, become a true and accurate server. Slogan is, imbibe the virtues of humility and patience, and the fire of anger will cool down. Om Shanti.